Hey 7th graders, today we're going to work on making a quick flip book, and so there is a reason why you can only see my hands right now. It's because you are going to be watching and following along and creating your own flip book. And so this will have to do with our notice and note signposts, and so you're going to see some signposts that you might not be familiar with, and that's okay. We just want to get them in your notebook right now, so that way then when it comes time for you to highlight and log in your reading log, you already have a quick little cheat sheet for yourself to go along with. So you are going to need several pieces of paper, and they are already cut for you, thanks to Mr. Dickinson's paper cutter, which I'm very grateful for. Anyways, you're going to need 7 pieces of paper, and I'm going to show them to you really quickly here. So first you need your memory moment, and these are all over on the kidney table. You need words of the wiser. You need tough questions, and again, these are signposts you won't know yet. You need your aha moment, which is the one we're working on today. And then you also need your contrasts and contradictions, which we worked on yesterday. And then, oops, I forgot this one again and again. That actually goes in between memory moment and words of the wiser. And last thing you need is just kind of your intro page. So that's right here. And it just says how to use those signposts. And so those are the 7 different pieces of paper you'll need. Another thing that you might notice here is yesterday we created our logs. And so here is my example, my notice and note log. And you can see here that I have the page number, the signpost, and the section where I would put my notes about that, like CNC or aha moment or memory moment, what have you. And so this is what I'm using for our practice as well as my reading groups. You'll notice the page right next to it though is blank, and so this is the page I'm going to be using. And so I'm just going to lay this here for you to see. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I want to put this in order. So I said first, so we want the how to use, that's first. I'm just going to lay it down face down. Next is contrast and contradictions. Next is aha moment. Next is tough questions. Next is words to the wiser, I think, yep. Then again and again. And memory moment. And so that is what I am working with here. So you'll notice that there is a little spot where it says glue here, and it kind of has like a little faint line, and that is where I want you to fold. So I want you to fold right there. Okay, and then I want you to fold every single one. I've actually already done this, so if you want to pause the video and fold really quickly, and then just kind of get everything lined up, that would be perfect. One more thing that you do need right now is a glue stick, and so I have mine with me. Yours are over by kind of like our supply corner, so make sure you grab one of those. So go ahead and pause the video really quick and fold all of these, kind of where it says glue here, fold those all down so you can't see the glue here portion anymore. So take a moment, pause, and do that. So once you've glued them all, you can kind of see they all line up here. And so I just kind of made, like, this is what my flip book's going to look like eventually. So you can see it's kind of nice. I just need to glue it now. And so what I'm going to do is going to turn everything over and flatten it back out. And I am going to basically start from the bottom. And I'm just going to place glue. So glue where it says glue here. So I'm going to start with memory moment, and I'm just going to swipe my glue across. I'm going to take again and again, and I'm just going to place it right on top so that I can still see the memory moments on the bottom. So you can see now these two are glued together, and I can see memory moments now, and on top is again and again. So when I go to flip it, right, I can see memory moments underneath. And it's kind of starting to look like a flip book. But right now, again, it's still free falling. It can't, it's not glued to the actual notebook paper yet. I'm just gluing them to each other. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue along this little spot right here as well. And again, it's kind of already been folded, but we don't have to worry about that just yet. And I'm going to take the next one, which is words to the wiser. I'm going to line it up at the bottom. As you can see, I'm just going to line it up right here. And place it right on top, right of the glue. So again, now I have 3 portions of my flip book all glued together. Next one is tough questions. So I'm just going to repeat this. So I'm going to put glue right here where it says glue here. And I'm going to take tough questions, line it up, and just press down. So you can kind of see, it's a little bit better angle there. So, oops, computer is wanting to fall on me. And so here you can see, right, I've just now have, my flip book is getting close to being done, but I'm still not gluing it to the actual notebook yet. Next one, I'm just going to put the glue where it says glue here. And next comes aha moment, and that's what we're going to be working on today. I'm going to line it up so I can still see tough questions. Press down here, and flipbook is looking good. Same thing, glue here. Right, if you've got it, you can kind of skip ahead here. So contrast and contradictions, right? I'm going to close. Next one, glue here. Oop, got a lot of glue there. Oops. And I'm going to do my how to use. Right, and so now you can see that it's kind of been perforated where I've folded it. And so I'm just going to refold again now that everything is glued together. I'm going to press really hard right here because that's where all my glue is. And now I'm going to glue this to my notebook. So you can see where it says glue here, this final little spot. I'm going to put on a fair amount here because I really want it to stay. And so I'm going to glue that down. Oh, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the entire back memory moment. So that way then it stays in my notebook, right? And it is a true flip book. So I kind of am going to put mine down a little bit towards the bottom so I can write up at the top. So my hands have gotten a little gluey, so I'm going to use a pencil to push this back and forth over the entire thing. So that way then, right, it is nice and secure. And so now I have my flip book. So you can see, right, how to use signposts, contrast, contradictions, aha moment, tough questions, again and again, and memory moments. So we have our flip book. And so then the last thing I would do is I'm probably just going to write notice and note, signposts, right? So I know that's kind of my cheat sheet. So you can see that it's right there, right across from my reading log. And so that's the end of that. The last thing I would have you do is if you open this up, right, and you see the contrast and contradictions, the one thing that I would have you do is that we didn't do yesterday is kind of highlight those things like that we want to pay attention for. So some key words to look for. So you can see right here I'm highlighting some key words to look for. So unusually, unlike him or her, not normal, that was shocking, right? Why did you say that? Those are all good key words for us to look for when maybe a character is going to contradict themselves. And then I'm just going to put kind of like a little fancy underline under the ask yourself question, right? That's the one that we answer in our My Notes. So why is the character doing that? And so this is what your final flip book should look like after it's been highlighted for our first one. So I'll just push this down and close my notebook, and I am good to go. If you have any questions, just make sure that you raise your hand and I'll be around to help you.